Beyond a shadow of doubt, I can definitely say Roroa has I hate her name because I stumble over saying it, but Roroa has instantly become my absolute favorite character so far in how Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. I have already kind of like really enjoyed her on screen time when she has come into play in the past, right? When she was talking about her dad's stupid mistakes and her dumb brother, and she was talking to her butler, and then she was talking to Colbert, and she was like, she basically stole Colbert after he got hit by her dad. Like all the on-screen time that I've seen with Roroa so far, I've really enjoyed. But this episode of like legitimately solidified her as literally like best girl for me when it comes to how Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, and not only because of her tenacity when it comes to Soma specifically, but kind of like the way that she thinks and the way that she's kind of like presented to you and to me. And I really enjoy that. Like in this episode, like we really get the introduction of her and really her pursuance of becoming one of the queens and becoming engaged to Soma. But the reasons for that obviously is because she definitely admires Soma and she's liked him since like I think since the moment that she was introduced. She's kind of really talked about him like in a praising Stan, a praising Stan is what she's taken. She's really appreciated what he's done. She's admired him. She's admired his work. So when it actually came to her meeting him, not only does she kind of present like, oh, marrying me and you annexing Amadonia is they go hand in hand because you would genuinely be authorized to be a ruler of Amadonia because you're marrying the princess of Amadonia. So he immediately is able to jump up in authority level over kind of her brother because she is marrying Soma as it is. So Julius gets kicked to the curb. But the legitimacy of his ruling, not only does it become something that the people of Amadonia want and they're vying for, as the people of Van were kind of spreading the word of how he was ruling over them. So they already wanted that, but now he has legitimacy with marrying the princess. So like all of that was presented to us, I was like, okay, yeah, I feel that's like legitly like that's it. You know what I mean? Then she also presented to Soma as well. Like, okay, the other things I can bring to it is we're gonna run commercials through the gemstone. We're going to get the merchants to advertise their products, to the kingdom, now to the Freedonia, whatever the hell it's called now. So they get this wide population of marketable goods that they can to raise up the merchants, right? So that the merchants sell more goods, and then that money is gonna flow into the kingdom, right? Obviously through tax and things like that. But she's gonna orchestrate all of that. And essentially, the merchants will then they'll also, not on top of the tax that they have to pay, they'll also, kind of how the real world works, they'll have to pay to get their spots, to get their commercials onto the gemstones to advertise their products. So she's gonna handle all of the merchant relations, all of the money flow, through the backwater way of doing it, and she's gonna flow it all through. Sebastian, as well as him kind of being the head of the kingdom, or of the kingdom's merchant, which I guess would be her essentially. So I really just appreciated all of this legitimate facts that she had and presented to him, and he saw all of the multifaceted benefits of her being brought on. Obviously, before he agreed to it, he checked with Aisha and Lisha and Juna and all of them first, and none of them could disagree with that fact of the benefits that she brought. Once that was agreed upon, she then immediately went and made her move on, like, how many kids you want, how many, like, let's get it on, they're gonna take over the business, the merchant business one day, let's go. Then you fast forward to the kind of the end of the episode where she ends up being in his bed because they were talking about the annexation of Amadonia and tax and things, how that's gonna work, and she ends up kind of being the first one. Although Lisha and Aisha did make their move, essentially, but nothing happened, I guess, from what we've been told. At least we made it very evident here, where Aisha was like, okay, yeah, nothing's happened yet. So we know that, they got close, but no potatoes at the end of that one episode a couple of weeks ago. So Roroa could definitely be the one to kind of produce that first heir, in a sense, which is definitely what the leaders of the kingdom definitely want. Obviously, Aisha would be the first choice, and I just think Roroa is just a really cute character as well too. I love how she fell out the bed and how Lisha had to end up how Alicia had to end up taking her and like carrying her. She's just dead asleep to her room and stuff. Like I just really enjoyed her on screen time. Then we had the moment where Soma is dealing with the Empire and dealing with Maria and stuff, and I really like that I love the concept that he had of the East and the West, and kind of what he was brought to the table there as well. And I really enjoyed seeing that. But overall, like I just really, the one thing that I've loved most about the animes, since the inception of the anime last season, is definitely just the realism that it presents. And 98% of the whole entire anime is all like talking and conveying plans and stuff to us, to me, to you, to the viewer. And I eat it all up because it's just so good. It's so captivating. And then when they introduce, different characters and how he's going to have to take on different queens and the reason for him having to take on certain queens, like eventually, like I can't imagine Maria, of the Empire not being one of said queens as he gets dominion over like this whole continent, essentially. If he continues to absorb one other country and then he gets with her and the Empire and his kingdom end up becoming one, like, oh my gosh, like imagine that power. That'd be insane. And I can't imagine that not happening. The interesting thing so far we have Alicia, Aisha, Juna, and now Roroa. And we know he's going to end up having like 8 or 9. I don't know, because I think she gave him the limit of 9 or 8 maybe. So we know he's going to have 8 or 9. So that means there's going to be at least 4 other queens introduced through, probably not this season, but overall as we, make our way to the end of the series and stuff. So I cannot wait for that. But that's all I had for you this week. I think Roroa, best girl. I love her the most. I think she's awesome. I can't wait to see more from her. I'm just really happy about that. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys on those thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate you guys being here for another week of How Realist here with Built the Kingdom. Leave me a like. Tell me I don't suck so much. That's what basically you tell YouTube. If you watch it, don't leave a like. You tell YouTube like, yo, I kind of watched it, but that guy sucks. So leave me a like before you dip out, and I'll see you guys next week.